Welcome to the Perfectly Sane Show, episode 703. I am Chris, as always, joined by Tony.
My 11-year-old announced that he wants to throttle Jeff Keighley with his shiny flower pin. So I just like to announce that the kids are all right.
Does he not egg world premieres?
He loves world premieres, but when Jeff Keighley speaks, he gets angry. I don't know why.
He sounds like a true gamer.
Earl is here as well.
And I will just say that I too don't think I can order prices of groceries. So
And once things go up, Earl, it's very hard to
it's
bring
very
the price
hard.
back down.
So,
And Jeff is here.
The Game Awards are good.
the
so-
show is good.
Define good.
So
I had a blast watching it tonight.
let's set the stage here.
good.
The three of these guys have been watching the Game Awards.
And are still watching them a little
Which
bit.
I'm not. Now I'm cut off. I
Okay.
That's how dedicated I am. I was having a great time. Now I get to hear this shit.
wow. All right, so Jeff was watching them and enjoying them. Tony, it started 2.5 hours ago.
So they did the half-hour pre-show, which I don't know why they call it a pre-show, because they're literally showing off trailers, giving awards.
It's
Yeah.
like the
During it.
same. And
Yeah.
like the audience, it's not like, you know how they'll do like the Oscars pre-show or something that's like on the red carpet. Here,
Yeah.
it's like in the theater, like in
Yeah.
the auditorium. It's literally the same thing, except there's a cute woman like hosting it instead of fucking
Who is
Jeff Keighley.
awesome and so
I'd
much
rather
better than
have her.
Keighley.
I'd rather have her do the whole fucking
she's
thing. I don't know who
also-
she is, but she's
She
cute.
also shows up during the
Yeah,
showed
she
up
does.
for
Yeah.
one award. But yes, like a lot of the awards are given out during that time too, and some reveals are done. So it is a weird thing to call it a.
A pre-show. It's just part of the show. It's they just couldn't
It's-
fit all of the trailers that they were paid to show into the time that they had. So they had
It's
to add
the-
another 30-minute thing on there.
It's the pre-Keeley section of the
That's
show.
pretty Keighley.
But Tony, you said in our group chat that you were enjoying it. Was that the pre-show?
That was the pre-show. I
Okay.
enjoyed the pre-show much more, and then we got to 8:00, and Keighley came onto the stage and started speaking, and then I remembered why I hate the Game Awards.
Dude, I have to give this one.
Well, I like the Muppets making fun of him.
Yes, they wrote in every criticism you have of the Game Awards. They wrote
Yes.
into the Muppets making fun
Yes.
of him.
That
It's so great.
is the best part of
But,
whenever
yeah.
Keighley speaks, they
Right.
mock him, which is
I
great.
did-
That is
I did not
awesome.
know the Muppets were on.
It's Statler and Waldorf,
Waldorf.
like the two guys that
Yeah.
sit up in the balcony.
Yep.
And like they came, like it was like 10 minutes ago they came on, and they're like, you know, like Kojima and Keighley are great friends. I don't know if Kojima knows this. Like they're just like rip like. Like they're like, oh, we might as well call this the fucking ad awards with some like, or you know, commercials with some fucking awards thrown in. Like,
Yeah, it's like the award interruption or something like that.
yeah, like
But it's one
anything
of those-
that you would say to make fun of the show, like he had written, or his writers or whatever had written into the show. Like,
But it's one of those things that does PO me sometimes, which is dumb. It's like you're making fun of the fact that you do this stuff, but you're still doing it.
Right.
I
you
just
can
think
stop.
though that they did a much better job all around this time though. Like, I didn't find it
Oh,
boring.
yeah, I think I agree. It's a better. I think the awards part is still very weak.
Yeah.
Except for the game change, I thought that's a really sweet.
That was very sweet. My son hated that part. He's like, why are they going on and on? I'm like, well, this is the good part. This is where they're like showing a nice person coming.
I don't care.
Your
And my
son's
son
like,
is
give me
like,
the next trailer.
That's right. He desperately wanted more trailers, and then took all
It's
that
easy,
time
people
talking about how
watch.
people are being good to other people. How dare
Wh-
they?
Which I guess is kind of the thing here, right? Is like there's people like us that kind of want to celebrate the games. We want to have the actual award show. We want the Oscars for games. and then
You
there's a
don't
good
want to.
contingent that are like Tony's son that are just like maybe even Jeff, right? Like, just give me
They
the
want-
fucking trailers, like
They won't
give me
win
the
to
cool
E3.
shit.
And
I
I
mean-
mean, to be fair, I think this is more of a win to E3 than it. I think part of it is that what works here. A lot of these games are within the next year or so. It's not like a bunch of vague. Like this is a game announcement,
Which they have done in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, there was The Witcher 4, which is probably coming out never.
I'm not saying that there aren't games that don't fit that right today, but I'm saying like it's better than usual where there are stuff where like I mean the Hazelight game is out in March. That is like 3 months, not 2 months, but 3 months away.
Yeah.
That's cool. There's a lot of interesting games. I mean, there's actually games I want to play this year.
So break down what has happened. I have not watched what has happened so far on the Game Awards.
A lot has happened. I mean, I think the big one for me is not big one, but I think been a lot of companies are like digging through their vaults. There's a new Omnimusha that was announced. There is an Elden Ring co-op experience. Well, it is an Elden Ring, but it's a new game. I thought he introduced that very weird. Like
Yeah.
a new standalone. I thought it was like a brand new IP. It's like, oh no, it's Elden Ring, but it's more of a co-op experience.
It's just standalone. It's, I don't know. I don't think it was.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, but the way he
It is not.
introduced
It is not DLC. I think that was like a shout out to Shadows of the Erd Tree being really hard to get into.
Hidden, yeah.
Yes, I guess just the way he announced it for me, it made it sound like it was a brand new game.
Well, it is
And
a
then-
brand new
It
game.
is,
But no,
yeah.
like, the way he announced it, it made it sound like it was like a brand new IP. Because he's like, because I think
He said standalone. I don't know.
no, he
again,
said like a brand new standalone game. I'm
here's the
thinking, like,
progression of this. Him going standalone game. I'm like, okay. Then I see Bandai Namco or whatever, and I'm like,
And I saw FromSoft. I'm like, okay, it's a new.
Oh no!
FromSoft.
As soon as I saw From Software, I was standing up. Like I was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" And like, it was very clearly just like another one of their games. I did not know it was gonna be Elden Ring, but like watching the trailer, very clearly it is like co-op focused. Like every scene they showed was like co-op. You could run up fucking walls. Instead of a horse that jumps real high, you could just fucking summon a bird to make you fly through the sky. I'm just like, I was in heaven watching it. I couldn't believe it. I can't believe that they have a new fucking Elden Ring game lined up for next year.
So
like,
so
holy
can
shit.
I got some questions about this trailer. Maybe you can discern from the trailer of whether this is true or not. More than 2 players? Or
I think it's 3. Their usual co-op is 3 players, yeah.
Okay, so 3 player co-op. Which I think that this the Elden Ring, Jeff, that like be able to play. Like,
yeah, dude. I hope I get 2 of you on both.
Because like that was really when like I jumped into the original. Like, I think that I would have enjoyed it more if like I was able to play with you, right? But then like after we fought the boss together, it's like, all right, well now fade away.
The funny thing is that like I do think it's a funny distinction for them to be like, it's co-op. Because, like, dude, if you wanted right now, I could go run fucking Stormvale Castle with you. We could do the whole level, fight the boss, blah, blah, blah. It just doesn't apply. Like, once you head into the open world, it's over. And
that's what I think.
I don't think it's very interesting to run through an open world together. But, fuck, man. If they're going to make it, like, you can play through, like, obviously, you can make, like, this one, you can play through the whole game together. And I'm assuming you don't need items and stuff to summon people because that would be like going against the point of the game. So it's like full on board, like, hey, let's Borderlands this, and that's fine with me. Like, if that draws people in, fuck yeah, dude, I'll carry you. Let's go.
What were you saying, Earl?
I was saying that Borderlands 4 had a debut trailer. We got to see the new characters for that as well. But yeah, I mean, to Jeff's point, or I think part of it too is like it seems like it's pure co-op. I've always seen headlines. It's pure co-op without like PvP, I think sometimes because people can come into your game
Oh,
and
yes. So
He-
that was
you
I think Jeff
over,
was
like-
watching me when I was doing this. So like I'm playing Elden Ring, and like I get to this part, there's this ravine, and then all of a sudden I get invaded. And I think it was like an AI invasion.
No,
Jeff-
yeah, it's part of the game.
But like I did not like that in other games where like players would just drop into your fucking game and slaughter you.
But like the thing that happened to you it's literally just like it's not a boss, it's just like an enemy you have to fight. But yeah. The weird thing with me is like that happens so fucking rarely to me in like Elden Ring or any other games that like it's never been a problem to me. Like I don't know, but like it is so fucking rare. But I don't enjoy it when it happens because like you're often trying to do something and it's just like, dude, leave me alone. Like
I'm trying to play the game.
yeah.
Earl, you mentioned Onimusha.
Yeah, so the new Omnimusha that was announced. I think that's coming out next year. It was not.
I
Again,
thought that said 2026.
oh, maybe
That's the only one that
Yeah.
might be 2026. Everything else was like
No, there was a few others that there was like one that like early access come in 2026. So I don't know if it meant like early access now and then 2026 is the final game. But yeah, a lot of them, like some of them are vague. Like I don't think The Witcher had a date, or did The Witcher
No, it had
The
no
Witcher
date.
had no date. It had no gameplay. It was the
Yeah,
cinematic trailer.
I mean,
The
even
Witcher
worse
is
than that,
2030.
Yeah.
The Witcher was also like, it's a cinematic trailer. It said cinematic trailer, and on an unannounced graphic card.
Unannounced
like,
graphics card. So the GTX, 5090 or whatever the fuck
5090.
it is.
That's what I was thinking. Or the 6090.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Onimusha is an interesting one. I would have thought that they would have tried to bring back Dino Crisis first. But
They did bring back one Dino-ish game.
yes,
Turok.
Yes, I was
Mm.
so fascinated by that. And I'm like, oh, this looks like a new Turok game. I'm like, oh, this is. But then they had like mecha suits or something on. I'm like, oh, this can't be Turok. It's like, no, it's Turok. I'm
It's
like,
Turok.
oh,
It looked good.
it does. It's just like it's such a whirlwind for me.
it's like a brand new
Yeah,
Turok game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
We got
yes, a prequel too, right?
Turok Origins, is that what it was?
Which I always assume means prequel, but I guess I could be wrong. And you know what they say when you assume. But Origins usually
You
makes
make
me
an
think
ass out of Jeff Keighley? Wait, no.
Yeah.
Throw.
The new Hazel Knight game looks cool.
That was definitely an Earl game.
Yeah, Spit Fiction.
What's
I think
that
it looks
about?
okay. So it's like the guy that that crazy guy that swears a lot, and he fucking like made like
Yeah.
It Takes Two, and
Take Two and A Way Out.
Making this like wholesome co-op adventure. The guy who's like can't hold in his profanity.
And this is like picture like It Takes Two, but one level is fantasy, the next level is sci-fi, the next level is fantasy, the next level is sci-fi, and then they're just mixing up genres. I thought it looked really fucking cool. Like,
Yeah,
I actually really respect that studio. I really love what that guy's going for.
I don't like. He's so coked. I'm sorry, caffeine. No, that's not. But then he was like, oh, like the characters are named after my daughter. I'm like, God damn, you can't be sweet now. I want to hate you. Just so energetic. But he's like, he had them show his daughters, and he's like, oh, my wife is pretty too.
I like him. I don't know. I like him. I
He came on the stage and he dropped like 5 F-bombs. And he only said like 10 words.
I do like what that studio is so weird because like they make specifically co-op games. You can't play their games solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And they, like wanted to.
They give you a free copy to play with your friend.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm learning something right now. Do not drink a frozen beer because
Oh God.
How
It
do
would
you
ruin the
drink beer?
carbonation. Like it's gonna be flat, isn't it?
it's not flat. It's exploding out of the top of the can constantly.
Oh yeah, that
Like,
too.
Yeah, I mean that's the same thing with you.
I'm like having to drink a sip of beer like every fucking half second. Holy
So like a
fucking
beer
shit.
slushy?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like oozing out of the top of the can. Like,
Well, I
holy
mean,
fuck.
Go get it in a big glass. Pour some ice cream in there. What kind of beer is it,
It's
actually?
making me chug this beer.
It's hysterical. Jeff's like, it won't stop coming out of the
It won't stop
can.
coming out of the top of the can, and it's going to keep overflowing. I just got to keep drinking it.
There's far worse crimes in the world than having to drink beer. But how did you
fucking
freeze it?
wild.
Because it takes a while to freeze alcohol.
It's been in my garage. Like,
And you've had your Chicago winter.
it was like fucking 4 degrees this morning. Yeah.
That'll do it.
We're fucking. Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
We need to talk about the game that, like, I was like, it's immediately messaging you about, like, did you see this?
Oh, so I still haven't seen the trailer. So you messaged me. You're like, hey, what's this wild ass Pac-Man game? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I thought maybe you would pick the multiplayer game that recently released on like Xbox and PlayStation.
No, apparently it's a Pac-Man game based off of, I don't know if any of you, I think Secret Levels.
So that's
idea.
the Amazon Prime
TV
show that just came out.
Apparently it's a game based off of that version of Pac-Man.
Okay.
It's a wild statement to say.
All I can tell you is it looked like a 2D like Metroid game. It looked like Shadow Complex or something like. But then there's like Pac-Man floating around, following you around, doing shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And like at first I saw like the little yellow dot thing, and I was like, is that fucking Pac-Man? And it was, and it's just like in a game and in a genre that you would never ever expect. And I am so there for it. This
looks super weird. I will play it. Like I'll play anything Pac-Man, and I like Metroidvanias.
I know it's like combining two things. Like
I'm seeing like imagery of like this little like cloaked figure with a sword or something, kind of walking around.
He's got Pac-Man floating around him.
But then there's like,
what the fuck is this?
Then there's parts where it looks like you have control of Pac-Man.
Yeah.
You're running along like walls where there's power pellets and
it's like escape the maze. I was like, dude, I am so in for it.
Kind of neat.
Yes.
I like the concept.
A lot of people were like in the replies to this trailer were being like, it's giving Bomberman Act Zero vibes, which I thought was funny. But it actually looks good. Like, I don't know, I'm so into it. Like, I will buy that game.
The Celebrate came out this year. I feel like that was such a hot button game for a while. I forgot its reception was just it's up for best music and score. Like, oh yeah, Celebrate was out this year. It did not win though.
So when is that I forgot the name of it already. When's that new Pac-Man game? Next year?
Yeah, next year.
Okay.
A lot of things were just like 2025. There wasn't like a lot of actual dates.
Lots of stuff to look forward to, though. Award-wise, anything that stuck out to you guys?
Alacho, best indie.
Yep. Alacho won. Helldivers 2 won for best ongoing game.
I was gonna say none of those surprise, especially it's always one of those weird things. I'm like, Alacho was the only indie game, and that was nominated for Game of the Year. If it doesn't win this category, it shouldn't.
It'd be bad sign. I would say, watching the show, what stands out to me is that like the Game of the Year award is a race between Astrobot and Balatro. Like Astrobot's kind of racking up awards, and deservedly so. But it would just be so neat if Balatro came out on top.
I'm okay with either one of those winning. I think Metaphor is a very deep, because I think it won best RPG.
It did.
I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year.
Which I know nothing about this game.
It's the Persona.
Yeah,
dude.
it's I'm playing it. I talked about it back when I played the demo. It's fantasy Persona. Looks like visual style is very anime, which Persona is as well.
Yeah.
Turn-based combat, very story driven, very, very, very good. But it is like if you're not a fan of turn-based like RPG combat, it's not going.
It's not that I'm not a fan of turn-based RPG combat. I don't think I'm a fan of the whole anime
Jeff,
RPG.
He
Yeah,
hates
that's fair.
anime.
I think it's very well done, but yeah, if you're like, I don't like the anime aesthetic, like it's a 80-hour game, so like, do you
Yeah,
want to
it's
spend
like
80 hours with these characters that look like us?
Persona 5, I tried for a long time. I played it for like 30, 40 hours. I was like, I don't know, man. But from what I hear about like Metaphor, a lot of it is like the themes and the storytelling in it, and so like, sure, fine, but I'd be surprised if it won. I mean, it could. It won Best RPG over Erdtree and etc.
I mean, yeah, it's like Persona 5, I think, was the big breakout for them. And so that this is like kind of flowing off of that. So
It's just to me, it really does seem between Astrobot and Balatro and maybe let's say Metaphor in the mix too. Whatever, doesn't matter. Like, it's the more interesting story to me is like, if Balatro won, it's like one guy who made a game versus like a giant studio with a huge budget.
The invisible guy, the guy who wasn't even there to get his own award.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he was just keeping secret. Like I just assumed it was a social media thing, but like somebody else got the award for him.
I assumed he was the guy with the suit on that had all the cards and shit on it, and then he set his friends up.
Oh
but
no,
I don't know.
This is Sonic and Friends Transformed Racing. It's sad that I thought
a new Sonic game, or is it
Cross World? Yeah,
a new Sonic kart racer.
Yeah,
or is it
all in
remaster?
on that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there was
It's
also
new, or it's
a new name, so.
Okay.
Hell yeah! I'm all in on that. I love those.
Not cross. Wow, I was gonna say crosswords. A new Virtual Fighter was announced too.
Virtual Fighter 6.
I don't even remember. And not Yakuza, but they announced a new kind of RPG in that universe from in 1915.
I mean, the Yakuza series, like, I mean, outside of the main one, which is now on like what, 8, 7, or 8? Yeah, I think 8. The one that just came out, Infinite Wealth, was 8. They have like spin-off ones though.
Yeah.
That do take place in different time periods and alternate universes. There's a zombie one.
Is this a new Mafia game?
The Mafia, that one takes place in like 1912 in like Sicily, I think.
It was announced, yes.
Yeah, it was announced during E3, or not E3,
Yeah.
but whatever that's called then.
Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, the old, is it Mafia, the old country, or
I'm in
old country.
Full slushy mode of my beer now, where it's like I've got the frozen part and I'm squeezing it out like fucking space food into my mouth.
You're eating your beer. Nice.
And it's delicious, man. It's really, I like it.
What kind of beer is it? Is it at least good beer?
It's Busch Light, so yeah.
Oh no.
No.
All right. Well, so I guess Game of the Year award is coming up shortly.
Lacho baby.
So you guys keep us informed as it continues on. Gonna talk about Indiana Jones in a bit, but did you guys play anything else besides Indiana Jones this past week?
Not played Indiana Jones yet.
No.
Oh, that's independent.
I have
played a new game though.
Go ahead, Earl. What have you played?
I'm playing it now, actually. Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. So I started this today, actually, and so far I'm enjoying it. I will say.
Oh, Balatro just got another award.
Oh yeah, best mobile game. I guess that counts too.
I played it on mobile.
Oh, here comes the fucking sweep, baby.
No, it was best direction. To is it Astrobot?
Yeah. Astrobot.
Which makes sense. I mean, best direction I wouldn't give it to, but because I mean it's really just cards and It's a very simple.
There's a
style.
lot of mathematics and shit that, like, for one guy to be doing, I kind of wanted it to win, but I get it.
I think it's a combination of like best graphics and best direction. They don't do best graphics anymore.
They don't have like a best looking game.
No.
So Brothership, Earl, tell us about this new Mario and Luigi game that is on the Switch.
That is on Switch. Have you folks? I assume Jeff, you folks have played the Mario and Luigi games before, right?
Yeah, I like them.
Because there's like 3.
Played some of
different
them. Which one have I played?
Bowser's Inside Story was really good.
I think I played that one. That's the one you're in like Bowser's gut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's Superstars was one of them that was really good.
Superstars is the original. There's Superstar Saga, which is the original. Partners in Time is the first one on the DS. Bowser's Inside Story. Dream Team, which is the one when you kind of go on Luigi's dreams, or Luigi takes naps and you can use his powers there. And then Paper Jam, which is the
maybe that's it. It's a very close kinship to Paper Mario. I don't know. It's kind of splitting hairs.
In a way, like it is. I mean, I think all Mario RPGs are kind of like a time-based endeavor, but this one, because you tend to control both Mario and Luigi, and why I hate just like Dream Team is like each of them tends to be mapped to a different face button. Mario's usually A, Luigi's B.
Yeah.
You attack with those buttons, and usually in the older games, like you navigate with that as well. Like Mario would jump with A, Luigi would jump with B. This game seems to simplify it a bit. You control Mario, and Luigi follows behind you. So like Mario jumps, Luigi will just do his thing. And then they have what they call Luigi Logic, which is every so often Luigi will think of something while you're around, and he will just go and he'll go and attack blocks for you, or he'll collect the moves for you and stuff like that. It's neat, but it's weird. It's also strange. Again, coming from somebody who played these games, because usually the rule was Mario was A, Luigi was B, both in the overworld and combat. But in this one, it is still true. But like in order to pick an attack, you have to like press A. So it's weird when you're Luigi because I keep on trying to press B to do his thing, and it's like no, that's out of the menu. I think the animation of this game is actually amazing. It's really good. It's like the best Mario and the gang have been animated like actual cartoon characters. And there's some voice lines, not voice lines, like Mario, Luigi, and stuff like that. But this suffers from like the same problem I think a lot of Mario RPGs have recently, which is like it does not know when to shut up and let you just play the game. It's like I'm like 3 hours in and still it will stop the game through like, hey, have you done this before? I'm like, maybe, but you also need to give me an opportunity to actually do it. But yeah, I mean, and it's also so far everything I've been to, I'm sounding negative. I actually do enjoy the game. Like all the places you go to are very small islands. Like there's a bunch of stuff you can go back to, but like maybe 15-20 minutes of exploring and you've seen everything it has to offer until you quote unquote connect it back to the main source, and then it will give you like, oh, then other paths open up and you can go back and find night bulbs. But they're actually sorry, what is this game? Oh, this is a mobile thing. Okay.
Obviously, there's a gingerbread game coming out. He plays the gingerbread man. It's Gingerbread Hero.
Now on P. Oh, is this for? Oh yeah.
Wait, is that a real game, Tony? Gingerbread Hero?
No.
Wait, was that? What was it? What was the one on the Wii that was Gingerbread? That was Gingerbread Man.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like Gingerbread Ninja or something like that, or Ninja Gingerbread. Like when when everybody's like the Switch had, not the Wii had a bunch of shovelware.
Ninja Bread Man.
Okay, there we go.
It is a gingerbread man with like swords, ninja swords.
I should do this more often. I should just make up games and We should.
I just love. I stepped away for a second. I come back to Ninja Bread, man. I was like, are we going back to the Wii? What is going on here?
That's
Yes,
exactly
it was a
what we're
Wii
doing.
game from
I
2005.
remember it. I remember it. Yeah, garbage.
Yes, that's why. So, I mean, to Tony's point, I forgot if I did that. Did we do that here, or did we do that? Maybe I did that on my other show. Like what used to be a thing where like you'd read the back of video game. Oh no, that was like you'd read the back of video game boxes and see if it's an actual game or like somebody making something up, like removing like the oh Mario and friends on an adventure. It's like oh, but this sounds like bunk. Yes, because like yes, Gingerbread Man or whatever sounds like bunk. I have a oh that's Aaron Paul.
Earl just keeps getting
Distracted by
sidetracked by the Game Awards.
yeah. I'm not paying attention to it, and I look up and I'm like, oh, that is Aaron Paul. Because they dug out Harrison Ford, who was either very drunk or did not get to be there, or
He's
both.
just. That's how he is.
Yes, which I adore. Harrison Ford is amazing for that. But like because they had Troy Baker there, like he's the voice of Indy, and like there was like one other dude who did it. That was cute. But yes, I think I was talking about Mario and Luigi. Like I said, so far, enjoying it. It is cute. I think they've done a really good job with the art style. I think the music's really nifty. So I will see how that continues to go on.
Okay.
And then I think really quickly, I think this is this week. I played just I think 2 or 3 games of Marvel Rivals, which is the new Marvel Overwatch S game.
Yeah.
And it was fun, but I feel like it's a lot more chaotic than like I think it's Overwatch turned up to like 10. Not 10, like maybe a 7. Where like, I feel like it's more button spammy than it is like ability, but it could just be that I was early in the game. Cause I'm like, I played as who have I played as? Um, oh maybe I played as Captain America, and I played as Punisher. And I felt like spamming the attack button should just as much as like actually trying to have a strategy in any sense in that game. But Marvel licensed a ton of great characters, a ton of skins that you can draw from. I was having fun with it. Free
So
to play.
how does like Punisher would use guns
Mhm.
in my so like is he a ranged character, I guess?
Yeah, he's kind of like Soldier if you've ever played Overwatch, kind of like that mid
Yeah.
range, uses gun, can kind of heal. I think the big difference between this and Overwatch, I mean, other than being superheroes, is that you also have what they call like team up moves. So, like for example, if you're a Rocket, Rocket Raccoon can jump on the shoulders of certain characters and attack from there. He can also, like, if you're playing as Punisher, Rocket can drop like a Amarillo thing for you to use, so that you're doing that without having to worry about it or worrying about. And it's like those things are very small but cute things where there's like a certain synergy between how the team build-ups are and how they work.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing which I thought was very weird is that the game has a tutorial area we can go and play, but it does not have a tutorial area for all of the characters. So I don't know how many characters actually are in their thing right now, but like I know like it's missing certain. Like I wanted to try out Jeff. Jeff is like the super adorable whale or dolphin in Marvel, and he's a support character. I feel like support characters is the type of character you kind of want to know how it works ahead of time, so you're not being a complete waste.
Yeah, so
So I'm
you're
like, oh
actually supporting the
yeah.
team.
So I'm like, I want to go try him. He's not. He's available to play, but he's not available in the training. I think the same with Captain America. Captain America is just one that he is. Captain America is a DPS. No, he's a tank. So he can go in the front and he has like he can do a shield and stuff like that. And then a lot of his stuff with melee. There is an attack to throw his shield, but that has a recharge on it. Um, so yeah, that stuff is interesting and cool. And again, I do want to spend more time with it. But yeah, I think they've done a lot of smart things off the bat. I mean, one, they got the Marvel license, but also just making it, unlike multiverses, for example, you have access to all the characters. What you unlock are like skins and things. It's not necessarily like, oh, you're gonna miss out on anything. The battle pass doesn't expire, so you get all of these perks, and it's like that. I think that's a really good way to go about this genre of game.
Okay.
So yeah.
I might give it a go. Is it like heroes versus villains, or is it?
Well, again, it's like Overwatch, so it is very much, you pick support or DPS or support, tank, or kind of general range, and it's 6v6, so you want a mixture of people to um to do this stuff.
Right.
It's just PvP. There's no there's no campaign, there's no story or anything. Just kill a bunch of stuff.
And so how like do you get to play as all the? I mean, I assume that they're gonna give you like a bunch of characters to play as to start with.
Again, you get all the characters off the bat.
Okay.
So, like, what you unlock is like their skins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's no what am I trying to say? There's no, oh, we have to unlock this character, or this is on a rotation. Everybody's there.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if there was like a rotation of like, hey, you can play as these guys, or you can buy Spider-Man for $15, but if you want to play as Spider-Man, you got to wait till he rotates into the free pool. Got it. Okay, cool. Jeff, you said you played something else as well.
I've been playing Path of Exile 2, which is an early access game right now.
On Xbox?
Yeah, I've been playing on Xbox. It's on everything. Picture like Diablo 2, except with like amazing graphics. And like that alone, awesome. And the gameplay that like you can't sleepwalk through, like not that you really could in Diablo 2, but like I feel like Diablo as it has gone on, especially I think with Diablo 3, it's like you can kind of sleepwalk through that whole game and just be fine. But picture Diablo, but like you get to a boss, you have to actually like learn its patterns and try to avoid its attacks to win. That's kind of Path of Exile 2, and good lord, am I like obsessed with this game. Just absolutely fucking in love with it. Even in its early access state right now, it feels like a complete game. I don't know what to say other than like it's the type of game that like is so good and so like addictive that like everything around it pales in comparison, which is gonna affect how I feel about another game tonight. It's awesome, dude. Like every free second I get, I want to play that game. I want to grind. I want to get better, and see what's next.
Did you play the original Path of Exile?
A little bit. Like I downloaded it, I think this summer.
Okay,
and it just felt old. Which
I
I
didn't like it when it came out, so I don't.
This is like, dude, if you are into this type of, if you're into ARPGs, like you absolutely owe it to yourself to play Path of Exile 2. It is just, man, it has got a grip on me. Like it really does. And yeah, the first one, I think I had tried it out because I had heard it was free to play. And, in a lot of ways it's better than Diablo. And like, maybe it is, I don't know, because like I couldn't get past how old the first one felt. This is like, the graphics are like better than Diablo 4.
Sequel?
What was that, Earl?
We're getting an Okami sequel. Or is this a remaster? Oh no,
the sequel. Got the word
actual
sequel right up there, Earl.
Wow, yeah. I never expected Okami to get a sequel. Okay.
No, because it's a 20-year-old game.
Yeah. Oh, and it's from Hideo Kamiya. Wait, what?
Okami?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that directed the original.
Yeah, but he was. I mean, I know you have Platinum, but I never thought he'd go back to Capcom.
That yeah. Let's see. When did he go back?
Yeah, it seems like a new studio. Clover.
Hold up. There's an Okami too?
Clover was his old studio. Clover was the studio that did Okami.
Well, yeah, okay. But yeah, there's an Okami sequel. I never
It's
expected that to
it's been defunct for 17 years. I guess he's bringing it back.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, Okami 2, I guess.
Okami sequel. They didn't say a number on it.
Okay.
So, apologies, Chef. It was just like I was like, oh, this is okay.
New Okami.
I believe what they said was it just entered production too.
Yep.
So it's not like it's not like it's coming out tomorrow.
Far
Yeah,
away.
it's gonna be a ways away. All right, Jeff. Back to Path of Exile. So how much is early access for this game?
Game is $30. If you want to wait for the 1.0 version, it's going to be free.
Like the original one was, yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. But like,
do you get any perks for jumping in?
I don't know.
I'll probably get something.
I got to play the game. There's that, and the game is incredible. Like it is just like, again, if you're an ARPG fan, like you should be playing this game right now, and you would be obsessed with it, just like me. It is just like, I almost make like, as much as I defend Diablo 4, I'm like, I could kind of see now where people were like, that fell short, and this does not. Like, it is just.
Oh, this game is designed for you to play forever. Like Path of Exile is just.
Yeah.
It's a free to play game. They want you to play it forever.
Looking at the skill tree, I can kind of believe that because it's insane.
I mean, it is an actual skill tree. If it's anything like the first one, like
Yeah.
everything creates like a branching path.
Yes.
And it's like everything gives you like a 0.2 buff. But if you pay, like, oh no, I enjoyed the Diablo loop, but I was like, that one was like, that was too complicated. That's one where I had like a Google sheet open on the next page, like, what is the best build for this character?
and in early, I'm maybe deep into Act 1, but it has gotten very hard. It's gotten very challenging to where, like,
that was something I found with the first one. Like very quickly, actually, it got very hard.
Yeah,
and it kind of forced you to play with other people, and I was not a fan.
I don't agree with that portion of it, because, all right, there was a boss that me and my wife ran into last night, and we kept dying. And she is so trained by Diablo to be like, oh, I can just hold a button down and not pay attention, basically, right? And it's not that. Like, because, like, you have to learn, like, the boss we were fighting, or many bosses, I'm assuming, you have to, like, learn. It's like Elden Ring. Like, you have to learn their attack patterns. You have to be like, oh, he's shooting his missiles now. I have to keep moving for like 5 seconds until he's done shooting his missiles, and then I can attack. Like, I have to like dodge, like roll, dodge. And she's not used to that because, like, Diablo is kind of a baby game. You know what I mean? It's like you just fucking press A and you win. Like, and I'm not saying like games have to be fucking hard, but like I do appreciate that there's like some meat on the bone there where you have to be like, oh fuck. And like me and her were stuck on this boss last night, and I realized, I was like thinking about it today, I'm like, I think I rolled right past that boss. Like I rolled out of the dungeon to the next area and never fought him. Like on my own character, my like separate character that is not us playing.
Right.
So I went back to it, and yeah, sure enough, he was there. I had not beaten him, and it took me a couple tries, and I was like, we're trying to fight this boss as like level 7, 8 characters. I'm going back to this boss with my own character who was like level 12, and it was hard. It was still hard at level 12 because like even if you're overpowered for the boss, you have to pay attention to what the fuck is going on. And I really appreciate that about the game. Like again, like my thing.
Yeah, so for me, like I would prefer like hey, like you want to make it hard and like make it so like I have to follow along, but also like if I over level to a point where I'm like just like looking at people and they're dying,
Yeah.
you should be able to go to a boss and fucking swap
Well,
it. Like it should not be hard.
I'm sure if you came back as a level 50 character, he's probably okay. Like he's probably easy, but
Yeah, but is there enough that I can go grind out to be level 50
Yeah.
and like 5-10 levels above the recommended should be enough to like stomp somebody, and if it's an early game boss, like that seems way too frustrating for me.
I will say one thing that is helpful, I guess, is let's say you run through a dungeon and the boss kills you or whatever. Like you could keep running through area. Like every time you run through an area, all the enemies come back, so you could really farm and level yourself up. There's usually a checkpoint before the boss, but if you want, you could run backwards, and the enemies will be back, and you get that.
Got it. Have they kind of said when it's going to leave early access, or?
I don't. As far as I know, it's next year, but they're like constantly like updating it already. Again,
It was supposed to enter early access 4 years ago, so
yeah.
like
The state it's in already, I would say it feels like a
Sorry.
complete, like totally done game. Like it's awesome. I've had no issues really. But they already rolled out a couple patches already. Just and a lot of it, it's like if you look at their Twitter, like this thing's too easy. We're gonna nerf this. They're like nerfing everything, and you're like, dude, like your game is hard enough. It's fine. Like if there's like exploits, like leave them in. I think, but
all right.
I can't, like if you are into Diablo 2 or if you're just into this genre, I cannot recommend Path
Path of
of
Exile.
Exile 2
Yeah, I
enough.
guess those of Eternity and Path. They both have.
I
the
almost
PoE
said, yeah, it's a
rating.
different thing. I can't recommend it enough, man. Like it is. Like it'll take over your life like immediately. You just be like the atmosphere, the like the grind, the like getting the new loot and just like optimizing your character and then going back like and the combat is just like compared to the Diablo games, it's very similar, but it's like so much more deliberate and like you have to think. Like you're not just gonna like keep pressing the same combo of fucking like attacks you would spam in Diablo. You have to be like, oh, what would work here? Oh, I'm getting surrounded. Maybe I should do this attack. Like you really have to fucking think about what you're doing. And I can't praise this game enough. Like I think I'm very early on in it. I'm like already like ready to crown it like the best of this type of game I've ever played. Like it's just so awesome.
Glad you are enjoying it. I will maybe give it a try when it becomes free. Sometime next year, supposedly. So we'll see. You play anything else?
One other game which we'll talk about
briefly. Tony, you said you haven't played anything besides indie?
Correct.
Earl, anything going on in the Game Awards?
I'm trying to figure out what this last game is.
Yeah, it's their final world premiere. I have no idea what this game is.
The other Elden Ring.
No.
Oh, it's from Insomniac. I mean, not Insomniac, Naughty Dogs.
Okay.
The space game, though, so.
Fascinating.
That looks kind of familiar.
Oh, okay.
Is it Uncharted in space?
No.
No, it looks cool. It is called
Intergalactic.
Okay, that's a terrible name.
Planetary.
The Heretic Prophet. So it's new. It's not. It's a Naughty Dog property that's new.
Intergalactic Heretic Prophet.
Yes.
That's a name.
That's okay.
Oh,
They made it seem like it was like not new. Like we should recognize what it is, and then I just
Guys,
spent all that time staring at it, not knowing what it was.
get ready for Blatro Game of the Year.
Is that what's happening right now? They're getting ready to announce the.
Yeah, they're about to announce the game of the year,
All
I
right.
think it's Blatro or Astrobot.
and he's gonna announce it's Jeff Keighley. He is his own game.
He's the game of the year. He has gamed us all year long.
I would not be surprised by Astrobot, and I would not be upset by it. But I just think it's a cooler story if Blatro wins because, like, it's one dude, and he did a lot of like fucking computing to make that game, and it's awesome. Like, I think Blatro kind of deserves it.
It'll be fun to read the discourse around it too, because so many people when it was nominated were just like, "What the fuck is this card game?
Poker? Is this a bro thing?" Like, you know, like people are just like so stupid about it. It's like if you played it, it's very fucking good and addictive. Like I'm still playing that game. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of sick of it now, but I've also unlocked everything.
You've done everything.
I'm nowhere near that. I'm still trying to win a white deck run. Like, fuck.
Poor Jeff.
I think that are like really good at it because I'm just like, I know poker, and yet it's like apparently I like. Again, things come down to the runs you have a little bit, but like
there's a lot of luck. There's a lot of math, and the math can get pretty advanced if you're.
But like
you're really getting into it.
But like that's what's great about it. Like the fact that like I don't know, man. Like this guy did all this like computing shit to come up with this game. Like kind of one guy on his own. And the game is fantastic. Like who won it? Who did it?
They announcing the nominees.
They're about to. He's talking for a long time.
Yeah, the guy
talking about Kojima. I sucked him off in the.
No,
it's not Keighley. It's somebody else. I don't even know who this is.
That's the guy from Valiant, from Baldur's Gate 3.
So just to remind everybody of the nominees for Game of the Year, it was Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio.
It really feels like it's between the two. I said maybe Metaphor as well, but it really feels like it's between Astrobot.
Well, the fact that Metaphor won over a few of those other games, tosses them out almost instantly.
And I'm sure Metaphor is great. Like, and
it is
good on them. But I just feel like it's between the other two.
The other two are more accessible. I think like an 100-hour RPG is very hard to like convince everybody to play.
Astrobot is Baldur's Gate was able to do it last year.
Yeah,
true.
It's true.
It also has like that.
It just feels more niche. It does like it has like a smaller audience than Baldur's Gate. I think
absolutely.
Yeah, but Baldur's Gate has the Dungeons and Dragons license, and it's the third game in a like storied franchise. Even if it's not from the original developers, like this is a brand new game.
I just think what a story it would be if Blatro won. Like,
it
would be like a crown in gameplay matters. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they're going to send up some more random people to accept the award too. Just people off the street.
Yeah, so Jeff, as much as I love Astrobot, like a lot of what makes that game click, like it is fun to play, and I think like gameplay in it is very good.
Yeah,
but like a lot of what makes it click is like visually, it's like stunning, and
absolutely.
It is you're getting all those little bots of like classic video game stuff, and they're doing levels based on classic video games. Like it's a lot of nostalgia bait too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I think the gameplay in Astrobot is great.
Yeah,
but as a statement for pure gameplay, like pure like this is a new idea, a new like that's the other thing about Blatro is like it's like a new idea, new game, and a game that like people will play fucking hundreds of years from now.
It's
You know?
for me. It's like another. It's very much like Tetris. Like it's a
Yes,
or Lumines.
exactly.
It's a forever game. Like
It would
like
be
Tony,
like
Tony might be sick of it right now, but he could come back to it
Yeah.
in a year and like you play a few hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Astrobot winning over like I'm sorry. Yeah, Astrobot winning over like Blatro would be like Sonic the Hedgehog winning over Tetris back in the 80s or something. And you're like, yeah, at the time that seemed right, but it's like, what's the game that's going to endure? Blatro's going to endure forever. Like,
Where are we at, Earl?
They're still
They're doing some sort of musical number.
Jesus
They
Christ.
do the musical numbers for all the game nominees. I will say it's one of the better ways they do it. Though I think they did it years ago, which I think I prefer, which is like kind of like the Oscars, where each game would get a segment where they'd have the song and then
it made it fucking so long, though.
It's
Like,
already 3.5 hours, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the way this one has flowed, at least when I was watching it, was like very good.
Yes, but like if you think about again, this is the same complaint. Good show, enjoyable, but the actual content for the awards is secondary.
Well, as we await the announcement of the game of the year, we don't want to start talking about indie. And kind of have to cease. I'm just finding shit here. This is evidently the 10th year
Yes.
of the
Yeah,
Game
they
Awards.
mentioned that once or twice or
Yeah,
1,000 times.
So I've got the list here of what they have had as a Game of the Year and over the past 10 years. 2014 Dragon Age Inquisition.
About one.
Well, there we go. We don't have to go through that 10 list then.
What one?
Astrobot.
Astrobot. I'm not mad about it. I just think it'd be more fun if Blatcher won.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it was Jeff, you said Blatcher won a bunch of awards as well. So like it was between those two. Like that.
It was like very clearly between those two, and like I get Astrobot winning because it's just the best 3D platformer in so long. So
Odyssey's
I
not
get
that
it.
old.
What's that?
Odyssey's not that old.
It is. His first Trump term.
Oh God! Don't say that.
Say it like
Ah, that's gross.
So at the same time this is going on, the Monday night or Thursday night football just ended.
Yeah.
I have never seen this before. The 49ers are in position to throw a Hail Mary for the game.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams, in response, blitzed them. They sacked the quarterback on the Hail Mary.
Wow. Oh my God.
Like normally they just like on the Hail Mary, the team only rushes like
back,
2 or 3. They rush 6.
You said everybody.
Oh yeah, bro.
We're making sure you don't win this.
I have never seen that before, but they got him. It worked.
That's a fascinating.
There's no other thing to do it. So, I'm assuming the 49ers are not going to make it back to the World Cup.
They might not make the playoffs.
No, they're not going to make the playoffs now. Their record isn't good enough to get in as a wild card now, and that kind of gives St. Louis, the Rams a path to winning the division pretty easily now. It'll be either be them or Seattle. So
yeah,
this kind of eliminates the 49ers.
So Astrobot has joined the ranks of Dragon Age Inquisition, The Witcher 3, Overwatch, Breath of the Wild, God of War, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, The Last of Us Part 2, It Takes Two, Elden Ring, and Baldur's Gate 3.
There's just a couple of those games that just stick out as like, why is Dragon Age Inquisition listed with these games? Why is
that was a weird year. We did it. We
we did not name Dragon Age Inquisition as Game of the Year.
We did
I
not.
think because
No.
I think we threw a fit because none of us had played enough of it.
I did question like how, because nobody had made it out of the first act.
Yeah.
And I did question that. You're right. Yeah, I don't remember what we did, but I remember it wasn't Dragon Age Inquisition.
Was that the Final Fantasy?
No.
15 year?
I don't think so. 2014 video games. No, because I think Fozzie was on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I think he was on the Dragon Age Inquisition one too.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good fucking question. I'm looking at this list and it is not super impressive. I think nope, we gave it to Titanfall.
Well, that's an excellent selection.
Jeff was not happy with us, but
I mean,
that's an excellent selection. I like that choice.
Okay, if you say so.
that
My
original
favorite game.
Titanfall game. I mean, but Titanfall 2 was also great.
It was better, but also still does not matter.
Well, I think I would go. I would say the single player for Titanfall 2 is absolutely fantastic. I think the multiplayer is better in the first game.
Yeah, the multiplayer in the first one was a better experience.
It was better than the first one.
Yeah. All right.
There really is no single player at the first game.
No, they're like, here's a campaign, but it was just like weird audio logs as you played multiplayer missions in order.
Yeah.
All right.
Weird.
So, Game of the Year has been announced by the Keeleys, and we're going to talk about the other big game that came out last week, Indiana Jones. Oh, I guess it came out this week. Weird, came out on Sunday.
And the big game
Sunday at 7 p.m.
The big game he meant is the size of the game, not necessarily the quality, because that is what 115 gigs,
130 something.
Okay.
Only if you download the pack that makes it look better. Which why would you?
Yes, it's not 97 gigs otherwise.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that because I just had to go on my Xbox. I haven't paid you in a couple of months. I finally got rid of Halo Infinite. I kept the Master Chief Collection, but at some
I
point,
had to delete everything. This is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I don't
for this bullshit ass game. Sorry, go ahead.
But
you had to delete everything, Jeff. Like
I have literally maybe 8 games on my Xbox now.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, especially if Call of Duty installed.
Every game is 150 gigs. Every fucking game. I'm against this. I think it's bullshit.
I mean, but how many games can you play at once? And it's not
there's things I want to have on access.
Again.
There's things I want to have on access.
Yeah, Jeff always wants Diablo and now Path of Exile.
Yeah, there's certain games that, I had to delete Elden Ring and its expansion, which is I don't want to do that, but here we are. Anyways, let's talk about fucking Indiana Jones.
Which Jeff does not like.
I personally think, I guess I get, since you mentioned it, I don't think the game is very fun. I don't, but go off.
No, you go off, please.
I think the game is it is, half of it is very much the modern AAA game that I've railed against for years now, where it's we're doing very story heavy, trying to make it a movie, an interactive. It basically is an interactive movie, and
yes,
especially in the early portions of it,
with the tutorial section specifically.
Good God, dude! Where it starts off with you walking around with somebody who's walking really slow and they're talking, and I'm just can we please get away from this? Can we please stop doing this? Please, I'm begging you.
You are specifically following the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes,
that is the opening of it. You're
walking with the guy. He's talking. You're walking out slow. You have to hear everything he says. I personally think this is a
wait. You can walk fast. when he's there. You can walk past.
I
Yeah,
guess you could.
You can walk ahead of him.
I did test it a couple times.
He will
and
follow
I guess
you.
I could. Yeah.
And
but
there's
it's
a
just
few
like,
other sequences I've noticed in the game where the person will be talking at you. You just walk away from them and they still keep talking, and then
Yeah,
they like
and
magically
also catch
teleport
up
to
to you.
wherever you
Like
have
if
to
you
be.
if you get to where you need to be and like you press the button
Yeah.
to kind of like advance, they will speed up to you.
Like the
I hate
priest
that
in like the
shit.
second act, like the at the Vatican, Antonio, who like is super old and doesn't move very fast. I just left him behind. He teleported right.
You're like running down the spiral staircase,
He's
like
right
leaving
there,
them up
dude,
top.
Yeah. I hate that shit though. Generally, like I don't care. I don't care if it works when you run.
What were just wondering? Like it's a game called Indiana Jones, which is a very narrative heavy film
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Lots of dialogue, lots of like investigation stuff. Like what were you actually expecting out of Indiana Jones?
I wasn't expecting anything. I actually had like low expectations for the game, but like I like did not think that machine games could make this work, and
And you don't think they did?
Yeah, I don't think they did. Honestly, like I think the game sucks, kind of. But like, it is doing the type of game that like I guess some people like. I don't know, but like to me, like right away I was bored. I'm like bored. Oh, like all right. Meanwhile, I have Path of Exile going where I can fucking go in, fucking kill shit, loot shit, fucking upgrade my character. And then meanwhile going to this, and it's like fucking a half hour of fucking talking and walking fucking around before I can do anything, dude. I hate it, dude. I hate this shit.
It's that type of game, though.
I don't care, dude. I don't care.
Maybe it's just not for you.
No, it's not. It's not that it's not for me. Do it better. Do it fucking better. If you're doing Indiana Jones going, it doesn't have to be like this.
But it does.
Like, it doesn't. That's
like
you guys. It's like you guys telling me.
No, you've forgotten Indiana Jones and what it's like. Like that's kind of it.
No, it's not because I'm not supposed to be playing a fucking movie, dude. If we're just playing movies, then enjoy, okay? But we're playing a fucking video game
with this. Like you are.
No,
and
it's not.
You are. Like there's stuff to explore.
I guess it sucks. It's fucking.
How far did you get, Jeff?
I'm further than you, probably.
Than we are.
Yeah. Okay.
The thing
like
about
he's through like the first Vatican area.
I got through that fucking 8 fucking hour mission of finding a stolen cat. Fuck you, fucking game, dude.
Why did it take you 8 hours,
dude? It felt. I could get into that too, but.
A lot of times when it's asking you to like do stuff, it's not super clear on what those are.
Yeah.
Because like I got to the point of no return, which isn't really a point of no return, as you said, Jeff. But like it's like for that first area,
it becomes
Like I got to that point at I don't know 3 hours in, and then you said it's like a very linear section. The next part, as you go to like a boss fight.
Exciting boss fight where you get to punch the dude.
Like,
There's a lot of punching and whipping.
Yeah.
Did you like do a bunch of like the side missions and stuff?
No, part of it was like you remember like how you have to like buy that camera.
Yeah.
I had spent money.
That's where I am right now.
I had spent money before that on like upgrading my like. You have to like spend money to read the books that you collect.
Yes.
So like I did not have the money to do that.
The camera you had to go find.
Yeah, and like I had no missions. So like I just had to like wander around and find shit.
Looking for change.
You didn't have any missions either?
No, like nothing enough to like do that. No, yeah.
Oh, so like immediately I came out of like after Antonio's like, hey, go buy the camera. Like I came out and like I immediately found like 2 side quests. Like in those tents right off to the left.
I had done some side quests, but like I had spent all my money, so like I was just like, okay. I like pulled up my list of like objectives, and it was like, get this fucking map or whatever the fuck, or do nothing. Like I just wandered around and found, like, I literally wandered around for like 5 hours.
All right, that would suck actually, and this kind of makes me feel for Jeff, because it would suck to not have any
it
way
was
of
not
getting,
fun.
and it would make you hate the game. It literally would.
Yeah, like I don't know why. Like
On top of everything else that made me hate the game, like there's a lot of things that make me hate,
because you need the camera is needed for progression of that
Yeah.
main quest.
It's a main quest.
You are
main
fucked
quest.
until you find like $20 and change laying around on the ground somewhere.
Yes,
because you have no
Yeah.
mission. Oh, I would be so mad. I would be so mad.
I was wandering around forever around the Vatican. Like I wandered around the Vatican for probably like 12 hours. Like
so, I'm just wondering, because like I exited that room and then there's like the tents off to the left, and I went through there and I found like $500 in those tents like immediately.
Yeah, there's money in the yeah.
So like you pick that money
there's
up.
money and there's a venture log. There's two different currencies.
Right, no, but you need the cash to buy the camera. You don't use the adventure points to buy the camera. You need the cash.
Well, yeah, maybe I never found it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so there's two there. If you get the things that upgrade your character, that's one form of so there's the adventure points.
There's adventure points, which are like experience points that you can spend.
There are also like the pamphlets laying around all the place that if you pick them up, you have to pay money to take them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like
which I did not realize at first.
Yeah. What made me making that part of the adventure like contingent on having money was a bad choice.
Well, there are magazines you can pick up and you don't need money.
Yeah.
Like, there are also ones like in the post office that like they're on a rack and you can buy them, and they cost money. But there are pamphlets and books that you can just pick up as you're exploring.
Well, yeah, I think that's two different things. I don't know, but like, I just think that the game is not fun, dude. Like, it's so tedious. Everything is tedious in it. Like,
I didn't find it tedious.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it's slow paced.
Yeah.
But
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it.
I like the little like you're walking around and your character's always making sarcastic comments. I love Troy Baker as
he's very good.
It
sounds just like
phenomenal.
him, yeah. Like he sounds just like Harrison Ford. It's crazy.
It is. I was like, this isn't Harrison Ford. Who is this?
It is so crazy, like how spot on that stuff is.
And he if you were watching the Game Awards, like Harrison Ford made a comment about it.
Yeah, he did. He was like,
if I knew you were going to be this good, I would have done it myself.
Yeah. And there is like the graphics are incredible, and there are moments in the gameplay where I'm totally in it, where I'm like, like this is what I imagine this would be, like if you were doing it well, where it's like you're trying to solve a puzzle, but you're also using your whip and your platform, and you're climbing, you're going around an area to figure out the puzzle, and that is very good. But that is like literally like maybe 15% of the game, and the rest of it is just fucking dog shit. Like I just like I'm not a fan of this fucking game. Like I'm sorry, like I've gotten past the fucking Vatican, which felt like it took me like 30 hours to get through the fucking Vatican, and I'm like, man, do I want to keep pushing through this or play a game that I'm enjoying? And I think
if you're not enjoying it, like 8 hours in, like move on, man.
Please stop.
Well, I want to play through it to be able to have like a proper opinion on it, but also like I think what hurt this game is it came out right around a time, like literally within a day, of a game that I am finding very compelling and very like. It's like sucking me into, and I think that you guys, if you play Path of Exile 2, you'll be super into it too. And imagine having like to play this game that like you're like super engrossed in, and you could like hours of time in, versus this game that is just like, hey.
I think they're two different types of games, though. Like I think you're like
no, they are, and one is boring. and fucking Indiana
it's
Jones is boring, dude.
boring for
Like,
you.
No, it's boring. Like, dude,
You can't like
what
it's
does
boring
it
for
add?
you.
You're like sitting like I'm
it.
enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Chris is enjoying it. Like it can't. It's not objectively boring.
What does it add? Let me ask you guys this. What does it add when you go to open the door? You press X. You have to look down at the door. You have to put the key in the door. Then you have to press the left stick to the right to open the door. Like,
It's literally
like,
you're opening the door. You're opening the door.
It's just,
here's what it is. Here's what it is in Resident Evil 4. You fucking walk through the door, dude. It's fucking boring.
In control of Indiana Jones. You are moving through an area that has locked doors.
It's more immersive. It's more immersive.
That's right.
It's not
It's
immersive.
more
It's fucking boring, dude. It's bad game design.
Because there are times when you are moving through areas that you should not be in, and like if you are, if you're not moving quick enough, you're going to get spotted by the guards.
Oh, that's the other thing. I want to touch on. All right, so I touched on all things I really hate about the game, but then you're like, oh, but the gameplay. What about the gameplay? The fucking stealth is garbage, dude. It's garbage fucking stealth gameplay. You know why? Because you could fucking ignore it. I walk past everybody, I kill them all, and it doesn't fucking matter whatsoever. Like, it is fucking terrible.
I will say, it gives you that mechanic really early on where you can pick up the bodies and move them, and I have yet to
why
find
would you move them? Why?
Useful. It's just
No, mostly
Dude,
I'm just trying to move through as fast as possible. Like, I'm going to knock you out, and I'm also going to knock your buddy out, and I'm going to knock his buddy out, and I'm just going to, I'm Indiana Jones, the murderer bot.
right, and I enjoy it. Like, the actual,
Yes.
knocking of them out is fun.
It's
Like,
so
I like
much fun.
I like hitting them in the head with a bottle or whatever happens
It's
if you
so
like.
goofy.
Or
Yeah.
like using the whip to knock the weapon out of their hand and then picking them up and beating them with it. Like, that's awesome. I love that.
I
It's
watched
so
a
much fun.
video. I watched a video of Donkey playing this game. And I was like, oh, this is way more fun game than I thought because he was doing that. He's just throwing shovels at people.
That's right. And I like that. Pick up random shit. Like, I beat somebody to death with the violin. Like, let's
There is no there's nothing to the stealth. It's awful. The stealth is absolutely terrible in this game. Like, I could walk through an area, they spot me, and I turn a corner, and the stealth is done. Like, the alert is done. It's just okay, then why am I I have not paid attention to the stealth at all in this game and walked past everybody, and it has mattered not whatsoever. Like, it means nothing. And I'm just well, what the fuck is this game? It's a fucking movie. You're playing through a fucking movie. It's a choose your own adventure.
Yes, that is what it is. It's an adventure game.
But when it's doing the when it's doing the puzzle solving and using your whip to get around an environment and solve the puzzle, it's good. But that is maybe 15% of the game. I think the rest of the game is actually kind of fucking terrible. I am not a fan of this game whatsoever. And I'll leave it at that, and I'll let you guys talk.
Wait, I thought you liked it.
Yeah, surprising. Jeff, how could you come to such a conclusion after?
I'm just saying. I think what I'm saying is
sound.
sound. I think what I'm saying is not wrong, dude.
It's not wrong for you.
I think the stealth is terrible. I think it's a terrible stealth game. Absolutely.
I kind of got the feeling that Indy was bad at stealth. That was but there are definitely areas where I would walk right past the guards and walk up a stairway.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
And they would the guards are at the bottom freaking out. I walk all the way up to the top of the stairway. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna turn around and beat these guys up. And I'm waiting and they don't come up. I walk down the stairway and beat the crap out of them and then went on my way.
I walk into an area, it's restricted area, and I'm I just walk past everybody and nothing happens. So I'm okay, I guess this is fucking this stealth light. I don't know.
At one point, had 8 people chasing me, and I had to back down.
I shot them all. I killed them.
I still don't know where the fucking gun is. I do not have a gun.
I definitely found the gun, and I'm but the melee combat's so fun. I don't want to use it.
I'm enjoying the melee combat. So I just because the parry it works so well.
It's so It's so Indiana Jones. That's
Yeah.
how it feels.
I'll give the game credit for this. I got cornered at one point. Like, everyone was alarmed, and all the guards and shit were running into this room I was in. And I had like 8 bullets, and every single bullet, like one bullet killed them all. I was like, hell yeah, dude, that's realistic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like, boom, you're dead. And so I did that as everyone entered the room. But for the most part, it doesn't even matter because, like, the stealth is broken. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you want to crown them, but they are who I said they are. They are.
It's like, but like if you remember back to the movies, like the stealth stuff that he does is always so ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
it's
awful.
cartoonish.
I have nothing against them like trying to capture the magic of the movies, but
Yeah.
it's just you're trying to be a movie is
Yeah.
what this game is, and it's just like I don't know. Like I think that like this type of adventure was better captured in the Tomb Raider games. I'm sorry, like those games are like more games,
different type of game.
Yeah.
but that's what if you're trying, like, honestly, dude, Tomb Raider Anniversary, I think is better than this. Like, I find this super, super boring, dude. Like,
And don't play it.
no, I want to.
No, stop playing it if you're
Like,
bored.
you're just making yourself
Stop
miserable
playing
by
it.
doing it.
It
Like,
was 130 fucking gigs. I'm fucking playing through this fucking thing.
Jeff, we want you to be happy. You know what will make you happy? Go back to your Xbox, find that file, and delete it.
and play your PoE2 and have a good time. Like,
I will.
you don't have to enjoy everything or have a full, like, you have a very coherent argument for why you don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you playing another 20 hours of it is going to change your opinion.
I could. I mean, maybe like the later levels are good. I don't like. It does.
No, don't
like,
do that to yourself. Don't.
It does,
don't
like,
Sane.
after the first hour or so, it does let you like play the game a little bit, and there's like portions of it where you're puzzle solving that I was like, oh, well, this is kind of neat. So like, I do want to see it through, but I just don't think that I think that there's things in this game that, like, if you have the philosophy I have about games, it's like this is not good. But go ahead.
No, I with kind of Tony on this. Like, it's fun. It's capturing the vibe of Indiana Jones. Like, I enjoy the story bits. Like, I know you don't want to pay any attention to the story, so like anytime that they're like giving you that dialogue and explaining
that's so much of the game. That's what I'm
like
saying.
that is so much of Indiana Jones too. It's like learning about the different the different historical pieces.
What is interesting about it? Like,
can I
it is Indiana Jones. It's Indiana Jones again. There's an artifact. There's a bad guy trying to get the artifact. Like, what is interesting about that?
Well,
like,
Earl, what are you trying to say?
I was gonna ask. I'm not started the game yet, so I've heard it both. I've heard other conversations around it. Like, what is your level of investment in Indiana Jones? Everybody here. I've had
a mid.
Yeah, like Raiders is like my second favorite film of all time.
I was gonna say, because I've heard from other like podcasts and videos I've seen, like, there are people, like, if you really love Indiana Jones, it sounds like you get a lot more out of this game.
It's very like faithful.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I like Indiana Jones, but I'm not like it's the best thing ever. Like, I like it, but I don't know, man. Like, it's like if I want to watch an Indiana Jones movie, I'll just watch Indiana Jones. Like, it's not fun for me to play. It's boring for me to sit through hours of people talking and guided, very like specific gameplay that it's not even really gameplay. Like, it's just.
I think you're just looking for a different experience out of a game that is trying to do exactly what it's trying to do.
But it's like when you guys told me, like, oh, the Mario movie is how that's how it should be.
Mario movie was fun.
That movie was fun.
But it's like it's a lack of imagination, like that's how it should be. Like it's just like no, dude,
Like,
it should be
still,
fucking
what did
good,
you want the
actually
Mario
good.
movie to be? 'Cause,
I
like,
don't
I think the
know,
Mario
man.
movie
I'm
is
not
good.
making it. I'm not
But
paid
that's the thing.
billions
It's
of
like it's
dollars.
the I get that, but if you in my head, and this is a very extreme example, it's like if you try to be creative, you end up with a live action Mario movie, which does try to do something
Hell
different.
yeah, dude. Fucking,
And
I'll take the old one over.
I enjoy it. It's fun, but like the animated one is actually a Mario movie. Like that's always what I've said.
Yeah,
If
but you could do that and still be true. Like you could still be true to like what it is and like have a spark of inspiration. And I'm not saying this doesn't have a spark of inspiration. I just feel like, man, maybe these were like the wrong guys for the job. Like I don't know. Like they did. I guess they did a good job for like people who are liking it. But I'm just like I'm so bored by it, and like. I think part of that is that I'm playing a game that I'm so captivated. Like, when you're playing a game you like really love and like you try to play something else, you're just like, all right, this is taking a time away from like something I'm really loving. So I think that's part of it. So like I'm trying to keep that in mind, but I just don't think the game. I think the game is like a little overhyped.
and
I do.
mean,
Go ahead, Earl.
well, I was gonna say two things. I don't know if it's because I mean the reviews are not middling. I think that's like there's decent price for it, but it's
They're
still
mostly
like 80s.
very positive.
But it's still 80s, which to me kind of like it's good. It's not, but it's flawed. And the other thing, and I don't know, I can't speak for you, but you did mention Tomb Raider earlier, and I wonder if so many years, I mean, almost 2 decades of Uncharted and Tomb Raider are just Indiana Jones in video game form, and then you get an Indiana Jones game, which is honestly not those two games or those franchises.
Yeah, you're right. Like, and I do think that like if you are adapting the series in the video game form, I think Tomb Raider is more fun. Like, it's more like we're solving tombs, and you get that in Indiana Jones, but it's so intense on being a movie that it just ruins it for me.
I will.
Go ahead.
I will recommend, Jeff, you do not play Metaphor.
I will
Like-
not.
Like
I will
if
not.
if you are like struggling through the story bits of this, like you will absolutely hate Metaphor. Like they go on like there are 5
No,
10
I
minute
know.
cutscenes there.
I know what to expect from that, and it's just not for me. Like those games.
Yeah. So I Tony, how far have you made it into?
I'm still in the Vatican. I am wandering around. I just talked to Antonio for like the 3rd time.
Millionth time. Go back to Antonio. Go back to Antonio. Go back to Antonio.
Yeah.
So like you've done the photos, obviously. Did you do like the bulldozer thing?
No.
So there's a tomb that you're probably going to go to next.
Don't worry, Tony. It never ends. This mission never ends.
I hope so, because I'm having a good time, so I hope it lasts for a
It's
while.
never like the mission is forever. It is like 8 hours long.
It's not only if you wander around 5 hours trying to find
Dude,
300 coins.
Dude, the first part of that game, all right, getting through the stolen mummy is literally like 5 hours long. It is so long.
So Jeff, you said I'm like right behind you.
There's like maybe an hour more, but like
So
think about that. That's
4 hours.
That's one mission of a game. One mission of a game. It's insane.
But that's also the hour, for the tutorial and the Marshall College area.
It's like you're still in it. Like I've been playing that game for like a dozen hours, and I was still in the fucking beginning of the game. I'm like,
it's a 35-hour game.
Which is, if you say that, it's crazy because like I looked it up on how long to beat, and it was like 12 hours. I was like, if it's 12 hours, this is literally 50% of the game because it is fucking forever.
Yeah, so like the people that have beaten it on there are saying 12 hours, but all the reviews I've heard are spending like 30 because they're all doing their like
Oh, I
all
never.
the extra stuff.
Even
Huh?
then, I don't trust reviews. Like when they say, "Oh, it's a 16-hour game," I subtract like 4 hours. Like it's just always a lie. They always want to make it sound longer.
Okay, well, you've already spent 8 hours, and like you have.
Oh yeah, it's like the opposite here.
Based on the achievement list, you have so much more to do.
It is the opposite here, and like I gotta be honest, like I got to the second area, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to play this. Like I really like.
You don't want to.
Like I don't want to play this, but I'm going to because
Nobody's
I feel
forcing you.
I'm
obligated.
trying to like have an opinion about it and also
You have
because
an
it said it
opinion
was
of-
12 hours long.
You have an opinion. We're all well aware that you have an opinion.
I know, but also it said it was 12 hours long, and I'm like, well, I'm fucking gotta be close then.
Well, not
I
if
have
you
no
spend,
idea.
You're not supposed to spend 12 hours wandering around the Vatican. That kind of increases the amount of time the game.
Yeah, so we will see.
Takes.
We will see, but like, there's like again with Path of Exile, I'm just like, well, I'll just play that. Like my free time, I gotta spend on things I enjoy, and this so far, I would say I do not enjoy the Indiana Jones game. Like, there's things about it, like. Again, when you're solving a puzzle and you're using your whip to like navigate, I think that's cool. But like, man, that is such a fraction of what this game is. And
Jeff, maybe you should just keep your whip in the bedroom where it belongs.
I should use it. I should use it more. I'm gonna. I'll let you know.
Well, so Tony, how are you feeling about it?
I like it a lot more than Jeff. It's what I wanted. I wanted a game where I feel like Indiana Jones got like the story and the pace, and like it, and like you're like wandering around through museum looking at stuff. I really like the opening where like you have the break in and like having to sort through the masks, like and the stuff laying on the floor to find out what's missing. Like that stuff is cool. It feels good.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like, okay, so this thing I picked up is Egyptian. Like, which part of the display does it go to? Like, yeah, like that was neat. And then like the way him and is it Brody? Like they're talking about like the relics themselves and kind of giving you the history of what they are and talking about them. Like all that shit's like super fascinating to me.
I know I'm gonna pay it eventually because to Jeff's point, it's 130 gigs. That's out of time and space. But you said Brody. When is this movie set?
It's in between Raiders and The Last Crusade.
Okay.
I think it's 1938.
Yeah, it's a year after Raiders because like they mention like Marion is mentioned early on.
Okay.
In fact, I thought that was a great line. Like, he's like, you know, his buddy's telling him like, you can't run away from your problems. And he puts his hat on. It's like, watch me.
It's so Harrison Ford.
Yes,
like it's just
great.
It's a delivery, and that I think that's what sells the game for more than anything. Is just like the delivery of all those lines is just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it feels like Harrison Ford. Like
it does.
Anything else you were asking, Earl?
Well, I was gonna, because I don't remember if Tony answered. What is your level of Indiana Jonesness?
Oh, I mean, I love those movies. I think they're all great. I didn't watch the new one, the one that came out a few years ago, but
Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, but I really like all the other ones.
Even Kingdom of the
Crystal Skull.
No, that's the one. That one's fine. I really like The Last Crusade. I think that might be my favorite one.
The Last Crusade is my favorite one.
I think if you were fine with Kingdom of a Crystal Skull, Tony, you'll like the Dial of Destiny much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dial of Destiny, I think, is just. I feel like there's a level of like. I'm not gonna say it's a great movie. It's a fine movie.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a level of like, oh man, this isn't what I grew up with. That people just attribute to it. It's a fine movie. Like, yeah, it's not rated. It's not as Crusade. But it's fine. It's decent.
Um, well, I am looking forward to continuing on with Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I'm sure we will talk more about it. Jeff will probably continue to torture himself with it, but
I keep excited to get better. Like I was like, whoa, maybe when I get out of the Vatican, it'll get better. We'll see.
I think it's going to be the same thing, Jeff.
Yeah, I
Like,
think so. I think so.
Generally, video games get worse as they get along because they know that the people are going to play the opening parts more. And
Yeah,
so-
I don't know. Like I feel like the opening parts were the very worst of it, and it got better in the Vatican. And then the Vatican, I was like, got really, really sick of. Like, the Vatican goes on so long, dude. The Vatican goes on for like hours.
Just remember when I was playing Elden Ring, and I died a few times, and I was getting super frustrated. Remember what I did, Jeff?
You're not doing what I did. I'm gonna power through, bro. I'm gonna give you my full fucking opinion.
Jeff, we're 40 years old. Like, we don't need to do that anymore.
No, I don't have time to play everything. I want to play games that I like, like the games that I like the whole time.
I think y'all should try Path of Exile.
I told you I will when it's free.
It'll be free. It'll be free at some point, and I think you guys will really enjoy it.
The first one. But I think Indiana Jones, hope he's finished downloading at some point. I do want to try that this weekend. Again, also a big indie fan, but I feel like I'm going to end up closer to Jeff because it does. Again, some of the complaints I've heard from other cases was very similar, especially in regards to. It sounds like it would have been better suited if it was more like an Uncharted, not necessarily an Uncharted game.
I would rather.
The best
I
part
would
of the
rather,
game
Earl.
from the best parts of the game, from what I heard from other people, is like unlike because the Vatican's like an open space where you can kind of do whatever. They said it's more like when like there's segments where the game kind of funnels you down specific paths, where that's more driven into like something.
Well, there are parts of the Vatican that do funnel you down specific paths, like that it becomes a little more.
There's like
not necessarily scripted, but
there's many dungeons within the Vatican, and so like at the end of the Vatican, like there is a dungeon, like that's where like Chris, you were like, should I go into it or whatever? It's like, yeah, it does become a dungeon that there's no return from. But man, I don't know, Earl. Like I have found myself wishing it was more like Uncharted, honestly. Like, and it was just so weird for me because like I there's things that I appreciate about this game. Like, I appreciate that, like, it does not care about your expectations, and it is like the combat is almost non-existent in the game. At best, it's like stealth and like you hit someone with a weapon and it breaks and they're dead. Like, but it's just like I don't know, man. It's not enough to make up for everything else that like I just do not like.
It's fascinating, and I do want to play it because like you describe it, and like Indiana Jones as a franchise is not very it's more of an adventure.
It's like you're playing a movie, dude. It's like you're playing a movie. Like,
but the movies themselves are more adventure than they are action.
Yes.
Like, famously, he'll use his guns in certain situations, which is why it stands out. Like the whole thing in the first movie. Where
yes, that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it can't be Uncharted because it'd be weird to be Indiana Jones in a shootout because that's not what he does.
And you don't, sadly. I'm saying sadly because I think the game is ultimately like my big thing against the game is it's boring, dude. Like it's just like the sitting through the cutscenes is boring, and then like playing the game is kind of boring too. Like. It's kind of like a decent like action adventure like puzzle type thing that you've played before, but it's just like, okay, this is not super exciting. It doesn't build to anything exciting. There's no like action set pieces, which you would expect. And like,
well, to be fair, you only completed the first main
level, but like that did not build. That built to a boss fight against Tony Todd,
Mm-hmm.
punch him, and that was not like, I'm sorry,
Which, as
not a good
as
boss
a
fight.
as any time Indy fights somebody, like it's generally how it plays out.
But
Like
like, okay, but that's not like, okay.
I will say I did not enjoy like when you fight Tony Todd
You
in
got
the
to that?
college when you fight him the first time.
Oh yeah,
Like it's not
it's not fun. I don't know.
it's not. I didn't not have fun with
not
it, but it
good.
was more like I'm not getting any reaction out of him, which I think is also kind of what they're going for. Is like he's this big giant man that you're
Yeah.
not supposed to do a whole lot of damage to, but you weren't getting the feedback, and it was like how do I know if I'm progressing here? Like, and then he picks you up and throws you, and
that's something that we also almost didn't uh, talk about. Is like, yeah, that like there's a boss fight against him later to end the first whatever area or act or whatever. And it's like, it's literally like you punching him, and I'm like, that's not like a good boss. Like, it sucked. I thought like it was terrible. So it's like, it's really like, I
to be
respect
fair,
this game
I've never
for-
liked any of Machine Game's boss fights. So
yeah,
I think that the boss fights in
it's making me
Wolfenstein are
question.
bad.
It's making me question whether like I was wrong about Wolfenstein. That's how like
Which I would actually be interested for you to go back and play
I
Wolfenstein
would,
again,
because I probably hate
there's
it.
so much story in those games.
But like those games,
so
like
much.
I was thinking about that. I was like, well, one, those games were doing World War II, which I think is interesting, and two, like that it is, they are action heavy. So like when you are playing, like it's action, and so like maybe gloss over things that are stupid about it, because like this is like everything I like did not like about those games. Maybe like I don't know. I really, and I might change my mind on it. I might get further into the game and
Which
be
is
like,
funny because like the stuff that you don't like about Wolfenstein is like the stuff I actually do like, which they've
The
imported
story.
here. Like they've given me what I want out of those games without like the tedious combat that Wolfenstein had.
Interesting. Like I'm totally fine with the Great Circle not having combat. I think it is a bold choice. I think they should be commended for it. Like yeah, there's combat, but it's very limited, and I kind of love it for that. I love that it's like focused on like being Indiana Jones and solving the puzzles. I just don't know why they had the need to make it feel so tedious and just like bore you with everything. I just again, maybe I'll change my mind as we go on. I don't want to keep going on about this.
I don't think you will.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna try to keep going on into it, but again, like I'm also just so drawn to Path of Exile, which I'm literally just like Elden Ring style, banging my head against the boss. But that's more fun to me than fucking whatever the fuck is going on in the Great Circle.
Yeah, I think that you just don't want an adventure game styled like this. Like,
No, like, dude, you know I love like Resident Evil.
no, that's not an adventure game.
To it.
It's
It's
not.
very similar. This
is more like a classic point and click adventure game that has like a little bit of like action spiced in.
I mean, I would say some of the Resident Evils are like that, but like the action is compelling, and this is just like boring the shit out of me. And so I don't know. It's so guided compared to even Resident Evil. Like it's so like, this is the path you have to go. You have to press this button. You do this. I don't know. We'll see what I actually
feel that way. Like about
really
after the intro, like which is the the Raiders piece. I did not feel that it was like guided.
It
like,
becomes less guided, but like
I was moving around like the Vatican, going to objectives in different orders, and like it wasn't like do this way.
I'll give you an example. I was like trying to walk around in this tomb area, and I had like a torch out, and they're like, "You cannot go in here yet. You need to like go talk to somebody. Like literally, I had to go like talk to the dude at the top of the stairs. I'm like, let me decide anything on my own. Like it's really annoying, dude. Like I don't know. And I'll be interested to see what everyone feels about this game. Like next week, 2 weeks from now, a month from now. I don't think it holds up, but maybe I'm wrong. And again, I'm willing to be wrong, and I'm willing to be like, as I get further in the game,
I don't
be
think
like,
you're
I love
wrong
it.
for you. Like,
It's the top of my game of the year list now. I think it's better than Balatro.
You folks are gonna. This is gonna be Jeff's supervillain origin.
That's
Right.
we just drive them nuts. 'Cause...
No, but I'm open to the idea that like as it gets going, I go, oh, this is really like great. But like,
But I thought you were further ahead than either one of them.
yeah,
So
no, I don't see it going over anything. I don't think this game will go in my top 10, honestly. But it could change. It could change if it goes like again, like it could get going and like I start to be really impressed by the environments and the puzzles. But like again, I don't know how far I am because like I
You're
said,
very early.
how
Yes.
long
Since you got lost at the Vatican and used up all of
I
your
know,
time,
but like
I mean,
how long beat says it's like 12 hours. I'm like, I've spent almost that already in the Vatican, so we'll see.
Because like just from the like achievement list, like that's the third main story achievement. There's like another 10 to go.
Okay.
And to be fair, the times on how long to beat are based off of 33 people at this point. So
That's crazy.
average is actually 19 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think in the IGN review they said it was around like 20 hours ish. I forgot. Like, but I always subtract like 10 hours from any like review. It's like, yeah, okay, sure you did.
All right. Well, we will play more. Maybe Tony and I will have a little more to say next week as when Jeff quits playing it.
I'm just playing Path of Exile. Fuck this shit.
what we told you to do.
Yes,
No,
go play the game you want to play.
I will try. I will try to stick with it.
You don't have to.
It's just such a chore.
And who likes to do chores? You don't have to do chores.
I want to
This
do.
is video games.
For this game. I want to do it.
Jeff is like, I'm just trying to understand.
Your wife is like, I really need you to take out the garbage. You're like, no, I got other chores to do.
She's like, you need to pay attention to my clit.
Wow. Okay. We'll be back next week. Jeff, say goodnight.
Good night.